So in this video, I'm going to be showing how to make the outer shell for concrete Buddha statues or any kind of statues you want to make. So this is one statue I just poured. It's a big Buddha. So here's the rubber, and this is the fiberglass shell. And it's important that you make the shell because you want to put the rubber inside the shell so the rubber doesn't stretch and the shell helps holding the rubber in place. So this is one statue, a new one that I'm doing. So I've done my coats of rubber. It's all finished, it's dried. So it's time to do the fiberglass resin shell. So this Buddha, I haven't finished it yet, but what I'm doing is I take this metal tape and I kind of fold it in half like this, and I'm sticking it on all the way around the Buddha. Now you can't do one shell with a piece like this because the shell will never come off. So the idea is you want to do two pieces, one in the front, one in the back, and I'll show you here. So just like this. And the idea is, this is the rubber. It's inside out right now. This is that one, inside out. But this goes inside the shell. You clamp the shell together, you tip it upside down, and then you pour your concrete or plaster. After it dries, you remove the shell, and then you pull the rubber off your statue. So I really can't wait to see how this one turns out. I think this one's going to be my favorite. It's been the most work to make. So I'm going to finish taping it all the way around, and then I'm going to do my fiberglass resin. Now the trick is you just take a piece of this metal foil tape, peel it off, and then you kind of fold it just like that. And then you stick it on like that. And then when you get that done, you take a longer piece and you just tape it here. And it'll kind of turn out like this side here. So this side is done. This side isn't done yet, as you can see. Okay, I'm done taping the Buddha statue for the fiberglass resin shell. The first thing I got to do before fiberglass is PVA mold release. So basically it's wax and it's liquid form. So I poured some in a cup here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint a really thin coat on. Once that dries, then we'll put our fiberglass resin over. And the reason for that is, if we don't put this on first, the fiberglass won't pull off of this. So you can spray it on, or I'm just going to take a paintbrush just like that and just do a light coat. One coat will probably work. You can do two coats if you're worried about it. So my statue's all coated in the PVA mold release. I just threw a couple blowers on it to dry it faster, and I'm hoping in 20 minutes I can do the fiberglass resin. Okay, so I'm going to mix my fiberglass up. You just dump your hardener in like that and stir it up. So I got my fiberglass resin all mixed up. My sheets are ready to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to paint this on. And we're going to do one coat of the resin, and then we're going to take sheets of this and we'll just stick them on like that. And you want to soak the sheets into the resin and then paint over them. And the idea is you want to do about 5 coats of the sheet, and between each sheet you want to do one coat of fiberglass resin. If you don't do it thick enough, this won't be strong. It's a little bit of an art to this. It's not too hard. Alright, you can kind of see it coming together now. Hopefully you can see this in the camera. I have the GoPro mounted on my head right now. And I am doing video with my GoPro Hero 6 and 30 frames at 2.7K. It is a good idea to go about an inch past the edge of the side. And the idea is these two will come together after it's all dry. I'm a little bit nervous about doing this statue because it's a little bit complicated. It's probably the most difficult one I've made yet. So I don't even know how it's going to turn out. There's different kind of fiberglass you can get. You can get the fiberglass, it's sort of like strands, or you can get these sheets. I tried using the strands, but it's really hard to work with. The sheets are much easier to work with. Alright, I'll start from the top again. My washer's going a little crazy. I have some drop sheets in there. It's really important that you get a round really thick with fiberglass and mesh, because when these clamp together, you want it to be really strong. Alright, my fiberglass resin is all hard. So now the tricky part is separating the two pieces. So what I'm going to have to do is get like a pry bar, kind of stick it in there and just pry it apart, and with a little bit of work it'll come. So I'm going to take some tin snips like this and just cut off the excess. So a lot of the excess ran down here, so I'm going to take my grinder and try to cut it. Okay, so once you got it all cut and your edges all cleaned up, it's good to take a pry bar and then try to pry this apart. So with a little bit of work, I finally got it to pry apart a bit. Got it. All right. So there's the back. Now I gotta peel off the front. I'm really hoping I didn't break the statue, but I think I might have. Yep. That's okay. So now the trick is to pull all this tape off, clean it all up, and I'm gonna try to make my first mold today. So I've got my fiberglass resin separated from the mold. So here's the back, here's the front, and here's the mold. And as you can see, I had to split it because there's no way I'll be able to pull it off the head. I have no idea if this is going to work, but I'm going to try it out. So the first thing I'm going to try to do is pour a plaster of Paris mold, and the reason is this only takes an hour to set up, and then if it works, I'll do a concrete mold after that, which is going to take a day or two. So as you can see, I got my rubber, the shell, and I'm just going to put the top shell over the top. Once I get it all fit, I'm just going to put some clamps on the side, and then we'll pour our mixture inside. So I got my mold ready to pour. I'm going to pour my first mold in this one. I don't know if it's going to work. Wow, I mixed the perfect amount on the first try. Alright, now I'm going to stick a stick in it to try to get the air bubbles out. And then I like to tap it to try to get all the air bubbles out. I pulled the mold off this and it actually worked really well. I had some spillage, came out the seam, but I really can't believe how well this has worked. Just look at the detail. I'm absolutely blown away. It's a little bit of seam in the back. It's not too bad though. I'll be able to shave that out.